7-day Ayurvedic Detox Yoga. Welcome. Please find a comfortable seat, whether it be cross-legged, legs extended, or even sitting on the knees. Make sure you're comfortable. And then taking a deep breath in, lengthen all the way up through the spine. Just making sure that the shoulders are directly over the hips. So let's just sway a little bit backwards and forwards. Making those sways a little smaller until you can line up the crown of your head with the root and find the shoulders stacked over the hips. Gently close the eyes or gaze at the tip of your nose if you find closing the eyes uncomfortable. Start to become aware of your breath, this gentle, subtle breath, tracing the passage of air as it enters in through the nostrils and exits out through the nostrils. Take a few moments to continue like this, allowing whatever else is in your mind to just dissolve into the background as you hone your focus in on the breath. I'm going to chant you a little mantra for good beginnings and good relations between us. And simply continue with your breath practice. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavaye Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvichavahaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Good. Now take a deep breath in through the nostrils. And as you exhale, sigh it out through the mouth, dropping the head all the way down. Inhale, lifting the gaze, lifting the head. Exhale out through the mouth, dropping the head, chin to chest. And one more like this. Wrapping the palms around the knees. As you inhale, tip your head over to the left side. And then exhale, draw chin back down to chest. Inhale, head drops over to the other side. And exhale, chin back down to chest. And then continue using your breath as a guide for each movement, rolling the head from side to side. Just gently working into the neck joint. And if the neck feels supple enough on your next inhalation, feel free to turn the head all the way round. Always exhaling, chin back down to chest. Inhaling opposite direction. Good. Let's do one more on each side. Good, and then inhale, lift the spine all the way up. Take the hands down beside you. As you inhale, roll the shoulders forwards and up. Exhale, backwards and down. 3 more times like this. So always beginning our practice with simple joint rotations, as all the major energy lines and energy centers are located at the joints. So even if we're just doing this very simple joint movements, you're still working your whole system. Then switch direction, opposite rotations with the shoulders, drawing backwards and upwards, forwards and down. Good. Okay, from here, as you inhale, raise the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, drawing down through the midline, dropping the head as you go. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And exhale, all the way down. 3 more. Nice, smooth and even breaths. Really just taking this time to be in the body, to drop out of the mind. Good. And then from here, bring the hands down to the heart center. Next inhalation, reach the arms forward. So you get a nice stretch across the back of the shoulders. And then as you exhale, open the arms wide, even reaching behind. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dropping down. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, open the chest. Lift the heart, broaden the collarbones. Last one. Good. And then from here, you're going to bring your fingertips onto your shoulders. Drop the shoulders and the elbows all the way down. We're going to do a little heating breath practice, working into the energy channels that we call the nadis through the left and right nostrils. So we're going to be twisting. Now, when you twist to the right side, you are going to inhale. And when you twist to the left side, exhale. So we're going to get our circulatory system working here. So let's begin. Inhale to the right, exhale left. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Continuing in this manner, if you can, speeding the breath up. So we're twisting the whole spine here as well. So remember, the head and the neck are moving with each twist. So you might get a little faster, like wherever you are. Let's do 20 more. And then coming back to center, drop the hands down onto the knees, drop the head all the way down, roll back through the spine, and really let go of the neck. Sometimes this can make us a little lightheaded. So just allowing the blood to flush back into the brain and getting a nice stretch through the whole length of the spine. Just feeling into the muscles of your back, tracking that stretch. Where can you feel this in your body? Perhaps not just through the back muscles and the spine, maybe through the belly, through the hips, somewhere else. Good. Next inhalation, lift all the way up. Take the fingertips behind you. Deep breath in, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. 3 rounds of breath here. You can either keep your head forwards, or if the neck feels okay, lifting the chin without dumping into the back of the neck. Good. And then on your next inhalation, bring yourself all the way back up, cupping the knees. I'm going to bring the knees towards each other and give the calf muscles a little hug. So we're drawing the knees into the belly and getting into the intestines here, especially the colon. And we want to have a nice clear colon, so we're stimulating movement there through the ascending and descending colon. And this will help you eradicate toxins and stale food trapped in the gut. Of course, the gut being the seat of health, according to Ayurveda and also modern science. So we really want to focus on stimulating this area. Good. And then from here, extend your right leg, flex your ankle, and we're going to take the left leg across the right thigh. Wrap your right arm around the left leg, and then sweep your left hand behind you. So you're going to press down on your fingers, and as you inhale, you're going to lengthen up through the spine. Now try to avoid the shoulders hunching up around the ears. Just relax the shoulders. Take another deep breath in. And then as you exhale, moving through your twist, especially through the belly. So you're focusing on the belly area, and then the rib cage, and then the shoulder girdle, and the head. And then take your eyes all the way around the back of the shoulder as well. And drop the chin ever so slightly. Good. Take 3 rounds of breath here. Good. On your next inhalation, gently unwind to face forward. Extend the left leg. And come to an upright position, flexing the ankles. And you can give the toes a little crunch here. Good. And we're going to circle through the ankles here. And then take it opposite direction. Okay, from here, cupping the right knee, bring the sole of the foot to the outside edge of the thigh, wrap the left arm around and plant your right fingertips behind you. So that palm is tented. So as you press into the fingers, you get this nice lift through the spine. Nice upright spine, noticing shoulders are still over the hips. Good, another nice deep breath here. And then as you exhale, moving through your twist on this side. Dropping back into breath. Last breath. And then gently unwinding back to your forward facing seat. Extend the leg, coming back to Dandasana staff pose. Good. So here we're going to just bring the fingers to the shoulders. This time the elbows are pointing forwards. Good. And then as you inhale, reach the arms forwards. Exhale, fingers back to the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. 3 more like this. Good. From here, inhale, reach the arms forward, bring the palms together, interlace the fingers, and then bring the elbows together. And the elbows are pressing in towards each other. And we're just going to do a little wrist motion here. Good, and opposite way. Most important is to stay with your breath. Your breath is your anchor. So if you notice your mind drifting away, just keep bringing your focus back to the breath. But let's shake out the hands and fingers. Okay, now we're going to take the hands behind us, planting the hands down on the mat. Nice upright spine here, legs are extended. And then we slide the feet in so that they're a couple of inches further forward than the knees. So we're going to come up into a reverse tabletop position. Good. So as you inhale, lift up, squeeze the buttocks. Take 5 rounds of breath in. You can either have your head looking forward or looking upwards, but again, try not to dump your head all the way back. Last couple of breaths. Good. On your next exhalation, drop all the way back down. Slide the buttocks back. Extend the legs. Let's turn the tops of the hands down. So a little counter pose. Good. And then come all the way back up. Crossing the ankles. Come onto your hands and knees. Nice flat back position. Really lengthening the arms. Feet are flat. We're going to take a few cat cows. So as you inhale, you drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the tailbone, and lift the gaze. And then exhale, squeeze the belly in, rounding the spine, pressing the mid-spine up to the ceiling. Good. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cat. 5 more like this. And stretching into the small intestines here. Also a nice way to get your body feeling a little more juicy. Good, last one, inhale, cow. And then exhale, round the spine, sit down onto the heels, extending the arms forward, drop the head. Take 3 rounds of breath here. You can wiggle a little into your hips if they're feeling a bit sticky. If you can't get your buttocks on the heels with the head down, then feel free to lift the buttocks. If that's still difficult, feel free to place a block or a cushion under your forehead. Good. Okay, from here, let's come back up into tabletop position. Now we're going to tuck the toes under, take a deep breath in, always through the nostrils, and then exhale, extending the spine, coming off the knees. So you're sending your tailbone towards the upper back edge of your room. So if you imagine where the wall and the ceiling would meet, that line, that's where you're aiming to extend your tailbone. Now, this might feel very tight on your hamstrings, the backs of your legs. So feel free to bend the knees and then press the belly down towards your thighs. Give the head a little shake. Okay, from here, start pedaling, sending one heel down and then switching legs. So you get a little extra lengthening through the back of the legs. Feel free to add some hip sway, crossing one knee over the opposite thigh. Just feeling into your body. Notice any judgments that you might have about your body. Just let them pass. Try not to indulge them. Of course, if this is too much for you, you can always come back down to child's pose whenever you like, and then just pick up the practice when you feel ready. Good. So from your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, let's all bend the knees. And then we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. And you might need to bend your knees a lot to get the hands all the way up towards the toes. Good. Once you get there, hold on to your opposite elbows. And we're going to dangle, dropping the head. Feel free to sway a little from side to side. And then come back to center. Good. And then from here, you're going to bring your big toes together or in towards each other. And as you inhale, bend the knees and reach the arms forward over your ears. So you're sitting backwards as if you're sitting on a chair. Good. Try to bring the knees back over the ankles as much as you can. Good. And let's stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then as you exhale, take the hands back down, drop the head. Okay, deep breath in, take the fingertips on the shins, lengthen the spine, come to flat back position. There's almost a little rounding of the lower back to make sure your shoulders line up with your hips. 1 breath here. And then exhale, bend the knees, fold all the way down. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, press through the feet and start rolling up through the spine. Notice how you need to engage your abdominal muscles to bring yourself all the way up. So the head will be the last part of you to rise. Okay, let's come to swaying palm tree. As you inhale, raise the arms. And then exhale, we're going to take a little sway over to the left. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Good. Inhale to center. Exhale back to the left, pressing that right hip out a little further if you can. Good. Inhale back to center. Just make sure your pelvis is in a neutral position. And then exhale other way. Last one. Good. This time when you reach the left side, we're going to hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. And notice how both shoulders are facing forwards. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, opposite way. So we're toning the organs in the sides of our body. And last breath. Good. Inhale all the way back up. Good. Now you're probably standing at the back of your mat. So as you exhale, take your hands down, and we're just going to step to the front of the mat. Good. Inhale, raise the arms. Let's take a gentle back bend. Squeeze the buttocks, sink the hips forward, and let the arms drop behind you. Good. And then inhale, rise all the way back up. As you exhale, open the arms wide. Swan dive. So you come back into forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale back to your flat back position. And then as you exhale, bend both knees, palms come down and step it back to plank, pressing through the heels. Now, if this is really difficult for you with your knees off the mat, you can always come down with your knees, but maintain this slightly rounded lower back, navel drawing in, pubic bone drawing up towards the navel. Good. 1 more breath here. And then as you exhale, elbows bend behind you, come down, chest, chin, and then slide the belly on the mat. So your forehead is now on the mat and the hands are underneath your shoulders. Press your hips into the mat. Good. Squeeze your buttocks. As we inhale, lift the upper body. Good. Exhale, gentle side bend. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, opposite way. Once more on each side. Working those lower back muscles and getting into the kidneys and the adrenals. Good. Last one. And then exhale, drop all the way down. As you inhale, press up to tabletop. And then exhale, sit back down to child's pose. Open the knees nice and wide. 3 rounds of breath here. So the further you get into your detox plan, the gentler you might want to take your practice. Always listening to your body and its needs. Good, last breath here. Inhale, rise back up to tabletop position, square the knees and tuck the toes under. As you exhale, send yourself back to downward facing dog. Again, pedal out the legs. Notice how your body's feeling now. Perhaps a little more limber than before. Okay, as we inhale, we're going to come onto the tiptoes and then send the buttocks back towards the heels. You can look forwards between the hands. Open your fingers nice and wide, middle fingers pointing forwards. So coming to bear pose. Again, we're working into the gut. We're also working into your large muscle groups, keeping the circulation of the blood going. Boosting your cardiac system. Good. Okay, and then as you inhale, look forward and step both feet to the front of your mat. It might take you a few steps. When you get to the front, fingertips on shins. Inhale, long spine, flat back. Good. As you exhale, bring it to a forward fold. Take your right hand across your left ankle and bend your right knee. Now try not to topple onto your left side. Keep yourself centered. And you're going to sweep your left arm out to the side, just as high as the shoulder. Next inhalation, start twisting through the belly and let that rib cage twist guide you until eventually your arm is reaching up. For some of you, the arm might be here. Try to avoid slinging the arm behind you or forwards. Just keep it in line with the shoulder and then lift up and reach up. If possible, see if you can start to flatten through the back of your right knee. Good, let's take 3 breaths here. Okay, and then exhale, take the hand all the way back down. Bring the big toes together. This time as you inhale, we're bringing it back to chair, but we're raising the arms up over the ears and then sit down. Good, 1 breath in. Palms to the heart center, sit back and down. So just the upper body again, twisting to the left. If you can, hook the elbow around your left thigh. Press the palms together and you're reaching your chest up to meet the thumbs. Sit back and down a little bit more if you can and turn the gaze upwards. 3 rounds of breath. Very nice. Inhale, raise the arms all the way up, straighten the legs. And as you exhale, open the arms wide, swan dive. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Always remembering you can bend the knees. Let's take the left hand around the right ankle or calf. And we're bending the left knee. Sweeping the right arm out to the right side, just to the height of the shoulder. Deep breath in. And then exhale, moving through the belly, twisting the navel, the rib cage, the shoulder girdle. And then, if possible, just seeing how much you might be able to flatten the back of the left knee. Last couple of breaths here. Good. Exhale, palm comes down. Inhale, bend the knees, back to chair pose. Exhale, sit down into your chair, palms together. And we're going to take the elbow across the opposite thigh. I promise you, the more you sit back, the more stable you'll feel. You won't topple forwards. Keep dropping the hips down, dropping the buttocks down. Press the palms together. Notice how my elbow, top elbow, is reaching up towards the ceiling. So I can get some nice traction in there. Last breath here. Good. Inhale all the way back up to Tadasana. Mountain pose, arms up. Good. Exhale. Let it go. Just let the arms drop away from the shoulders. Parallel feet. Close the eyes. And just tune into how you're feeling now. Perhaps the heart rate has accelerated a little. Allow it to slow down. Come back to your easy breath. And then open the eyes. And we're going to practice some classic sun salutations. So come back to the front of the mat. Palms in front of you, shoulders over hips. As you inhale, raise the arms, take a little back bend, as gentle or deep as you like, and then exhale, swan dive. And always listening to what your body needs. As you inhale, slide your right leg back, come down onto your right knee and lift the chest. Good, let's take another breath here. And then exhale, take the palms down, slide the left foot back. One breath here. Exhale, drop knees, chest, chin, or if that's too difficult, feel free to come belly, chest, forehead. Inhale, cobra, maybe straightening the elbows or keep it low. Good, last breath here. And then exhale, round the spine to sit all the way back to child's pose. Inhale, tabletop, tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Really pressing belly down towards the thighs to get that nice long spine and to get into the gut. Good, and then look forward, and as you inhale, step your right foot between your hands, come down on your back knee, lift the chest, so come onto your fingertips. Take one breath here. As you exhale, tuck your back toes under and step the back foot forward. Come back into your forward fold, Uttanasana. And then inhale, reach the arms forward, lift all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. And release back to Tadasana, back to that mountain pose. Okay, so we're going to do this a few more times, speeding up. If you can, keep up with the pace. Inhale, raise the arms, gentle back bend. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, left foot goes back this time, heart lifted. Exhale, plank, knees, chest, chin, or knees, belly, chest. Inhale, cobra, or up dog, lifting the knees. And then exhale, downward facing dog, that upside down triangle. Inhale, look forward, step your left foot through, lift the chest. As you exhale, step the back foot forward, come into forward fold. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, Samasthiti. And release to Tadasana, mountain pose. So if you're very stiff, you may not be able to move quite this fast, but you can take some time to study this. I'll do it once more on each side, and then you can take it at your own pace, adding extra breaths in between if you need to. Good, so inhale, raise the arms, lift the chest, little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the right foot back, lift the chest. Exhale to plank, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga if that's in your practice. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, down on the back knee, chest is lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down through the midline. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Last one, inhale, raise the arms, lift the heart. Each time, body becoming a little more fluid. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, step the left foot back, lift the chest. Exhale, step back, all the way through your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin. All that floating plank chaturanga. And exhaling all the way back to downward facing dog. Good, next inhalation, look forward, step the left foot forward, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. And release. Close the eyes. Allow your pulse to settle. Notice what's there in the mind. So sun salutation, quite a heating pose, an energizing pose. So particularly good for first thing in the morning. And feel free to do more of these if you have time. Okay, from here, as we inhale, let's bring it back to chair pose. Bring the feet together and the knees together. Good, deep breath in here. And then exhale, swan dive. Back to your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. As you exhale, option to take it back to your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin from plank, or just take it back to downward facing dog. If downward facing dog's too much for you, feel free to come down to tabletop for a few breaths. Good, so we'll just go through a few warrior positions. Tucking the toes under if you've been in tabletop. Back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, raise your right leg. Doesn't have to be very high. Look forward. We're stepping that right foot through the hands again. And now we're going to take the back foot down. So if you look, your front and back heel are in the same line. Good. Bend the front knee and take your arms wide. Stay here for 3 rounds of breath. Good. And then inhale, lift your upper body all the way up. Now, if you feel a little wobbly here, feel free to take that right foot out to the side a little more. Reaching up, lengthening the rib cage and the belly, reaching up. 5 rounds of breath here. Nice and strong. Feel your feet and your lower body rooting into the earth and your upper body rising to the heavens. Last couple of breaths here. Always breathing through the nostrils. Good, and then next inhalation, reach the arms up. As you exhale, keep your lower body as it is. You're just going to twist your upper body to the left. Heel, toe. Heel, toe. So you've got a nice wide stance here now, coming to Warrior 2 or Virabhadrasana 2. Let's take 5 breaths here, gazing across the front middle finger. If that's too much for your arms at this point, feel free to take your hands onto your hips. More importantly, your pelvis is in a neutral position, so the lower back is flat and the shoulders are relaxed. Notice how your jaw is. Can you move that jaw from side to side and just let it be nice and soft? Last breath here. And then as you inhale, straighten your front leg. Good. As we exhale, we're going to reach forward and then take the fingers down onto your shin and raise the other arm. Again, there's a sense of lifting up and away from the lower leg. We've reached forward, so we get a nice stretch through the side body. If it's okay for your neck, look up towards your fingers. Good. Lightly lifting the kneecaps to engage your thighs. Last couple of breaths here. Very nice. And then bend the front knee and come all the way back up. Good. Deep breath in. Pivot on your back heel so we come to a forward facing lunge. Good. One breath in. Exhale, take the hands down to frame your front foot. And then we're going to sweep the right arm out to the side, reaching up, dropping down through the root, hugging that right hip back. The 3, 2, and 1. Take the palm down. Inhale to plank, following through with the vinyasa, or simply downward facing dog. Good. If this is too much, again, tabletop or even child's pose, 3 rounds of breath. Give the head a little shake. Feel free to bend the knees. Feel free to pedal. And feel free to sway the hips. So just feeling into your body. How is it your body needs you to be with it today? So you're cultivating more of an intimate relationship with your body. We spend a lot of time stuck in the mind, particularly when we're on a detox. We can become quite lightheaded as the toxins start to flush through the body and mind. Our practice, our yoga practice, helps keep us grounded. Okay, from here, wherever you are, come back to downward facing dog. As you inhale, raise your left leg. Good, look forward, step it through. Turn the back foot down, so you're pressing on the heel. Those back toes are ever so slightly turning out to the side. Both hips are forward facing. Press your belly down onto your thigh and then open the arms wide. Again, working into, on the other side, the ascending colon, this side, the descending colon. For 3, 2, and 1. Press through the feet, lift all the way up. Good, exhale. Grounding through the feet, reaching to the heavens. Feel yourself stable, supported by this solid ground beneath you. And feel yourself elevated, reaching up through the upper body. Also perhaps elevated in your sense of well-being. Good, last breath in. And then exhale, just the upper body twist to the right side. And then we start to heel toe, the back foot, so that the hips also open. So just a little note, make sure that your front knee is tracking towards the little toe. It's not coming from the knee, it's coming from the hip. Good, and the spine is upright, so we're not leaning forward. Arms are nice and wide, or hands are on the hips. Turn to face your middle finger. Take 3 rounds of breath here. So even if you're a seasoned yogi, you've been doing this for a very long time, maybe you're used to doing a much faster or more advanced practice, it's good to keep it simple. Slow it down. Revisit the basics. Good. Next inhalation, straighten the front leg. And then exhale, reach forward, forward, forward. Take the fingers down. Raise the arm up overhead. So each day when you come back to this practice, you can notice how your body is changing every day. Notice how the state of your mind affects your practice. If you're someone that needs more, and you're more of a seasoned yogi, you can do more advanced poses like reaching the arm away, reaching forward a little more. But I do advise you to stick to the basics, at least for the first couple of days. Sometimes that's a challenge, to not push too far beyond. Yes, it can be a humbling experience to be able to stay with the fundamental poses and keep it simple. Good, last breath here. As you inhale, bend the knee, come all the way back up. Exhale, pivot on the back heel, coming back into your high lunge. Good, 3 rounds of breath here. Pressing through the back heel so that you're not collapsing all the weight onto the front knee. Good, and then exhale, swan dive. Plant the right palm down, sweep the left arm out to the side, twist the belly, ribs and navel turning in towards the inner thigh. Keep the knee bent over the ankle. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Look up to the ceiling if you can. Last breath. Good. Exhale, take the palm down. Inhale, step it back to dog or plank and vinyasa or child's pose. Okay, from here, we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. And again, feel free to bend the knees. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, press through the feet and roll up through the spine, little by little. Back to Tadasana, your mountain pose. And we're going to do a little cleansing breath now. A lion's breath. So you're going to heel toe your feet out once or twice. And then bend the knees. Take the hands onto your thighs. So I'll just talk you through it first. As you inhale, you're going to look up to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. And then you're going to exhale by sticking your tongue out and taking your chin all the way down to the chest. Now, once you're here, you're going to hold the breath out, squeeze the belly, squeeze the pelvic floor. If you can, lift your navel up towards your rib cage. So you're just holding the breath out until you need to inhale, at which point release the belly, the pelvic floor, inhale, lift the head, and then exhale normally, either through the mouth or the nose. Okay, so let's do that 3 times. Now, please make sure that you don't hold your breath out so long that by the time it comes to inhale, your inhale sounds like you want it to be nice and fluid. So you don't need to hold it for too long if you've never done this practice before. Turning the gaze up to the third eye, space between the eyebrows. Inhale. Exhale, stick the tongue out. Expel every last drop of breath. Drop chin to chest. Pull the pelvic floor up. Squeezing. Draw the navel in and up towards the ribs. Keep holding the breath out. And then when you need to, through the nostrils, look up, release the belly, inhale. And exhale. Good, we'll do that once more. So what we're doing here is we're really getting into the deep lungs, the lower nodes of the lungs, so that we can circulate any stale air. Because again, on a detox plan, we're not just clearing the colon, we're clearing and cleansing the blood, clearing and cleansing the lungs, and reoxygenating with nice, fresh oxygen. Okay, last one. Inhale, third eye. Exhale, stick the tongue out to touch the chin if you can. Every last breath, every last drop out. Close the mouth, pelvic floor, abdomen, hold. And then inhale and exhale. Good, come to the standing position, Tadasana. Feet are parallel, drop the arms, close the eyes. Just notice how you feel now. Okay, take the hands onto your hips, open the eyes. I'm going to do some balances. Tree pose, very good for balancing the nervous system, working with those left and right channels. So the easiest option is you turn your left hip out to the side, bring your left heel in towards your ankle. Make sure you're really stable through your standing foot. So as if you're pressing down through the four corners of that foot. So sometimes the big toe rolls up. So if that happens, just add a little more weight onto the big toe to keep the whole foot connected to the ground. Some of you might be able to bring your foot up towards your calf muscle. If this is the case, lightly pressing the calf and the foot in towards each other. And some of you may be able to bring the foot above the knee. So please avoid putting your foot on the knee. Wherever you are, bring your hands to your heart center. Find a focal point straight ahead of you. So it's in the same line as your own eye line. That's your horizon line. Gazing at something that doesn't move. And then if you feel okay here, raise the arms. Good. 3 rounds of breath. If you fall out, don't despair. Just come back in when you're ready. Each day you'll notice changes, improvements. Last breath. And bring the knee back in. Release. Shake it out. Give the ankles a little shake, particularly the standing leg one. Okay, back to our mountain pose. A good foundation. And then hands on the hips. Turn the right foot out. Bring the heel into the ankle. Maybe stay here. Maybe come to the calf muscle or to the upper thigh. Pressing the upper thigh and the foot in towards each other. So as you draw all these energies into this midline through the body, keeps you a lot more stable. Find your focal point, your drishti. Keep the hip nice and open. Keep the shoulders nice and soft. Have you gone back to clenching your jaw? Can you let it go? Are you frowning? Sometimes a little scowl on the face. Soften the face. Good. And then inhale, raise the arms. 3 more rounds of breath here. Whatever you do, keep breathing. Often in balances, we hold our breath as if to keep still so that we don't move, but you want to keep breathing. No breath, no life. Last breath here. And then exhale. Bring the foot all the way back down. Release the arms. Shake it out. Okay, from here, heel, toe, heel, toe. Toes are turned out. Bring the hands to your heart center. I'm going to slide down into a yogic squat, Malasana. Some of you may be able to get all the way down. Others of you might have to stay higher. And if you do that, you can take your hands onto your thighs. So deep breath in. So you're guiding your tailbone and root down. If you can come all the way down, let's slot the elbows into the inner thighs. Have a little sway from side to side. Settle onto the heels, lift the chest, nice long spine. Yeah, so we're going to take an abdominal twist in this pose. So I'll show you if you're up here, we're simply going to take your right shoulder across to the left thigh. Reaching. If we're in the other squat, you're going to take your right hand behind you and your left arm on the outer edge of your thigh, or your hand on the outer edge of the thigh, whatever works. So you're twisting and folding towards your inner thigh. Again, bringing that shoulder all the way across. Try to keep a little weight into your left foot so we're not collapsing onto the right side. Last breath. And then come back to center. Switch sides. Left arm behind you. Right arm either elbow across or wrap the hand around the shin. Deep breath in and then twist and fold and send the weight down onto your right foot. 3 rounds of breath. Very good. Okay, release. Bring the knees down carefully and then bring them together. Okay, from here, you're walking the toes towards the back of the mat. Keep your knees over your hips. And then we're sliding the arms forward, or palms, so that we can bring the forehead to the mat, or a brick, or a stack of books. What we want to find is the belly and the chest dropping down. And you just let go of your belly here. It's a little bit like a downward facing dog. It's actually called puppy pose, also called heart melting pose, Anahatasana. Nice back bend, but also a nice way to stretch the gut. 3 more rounds of breath here. Okay, from here, you're going to come down onto your belly. Take the hands either side of the corners of your mat. Roll the shoulders back and down, lift the heart. Good. If there's any pinching in the lower back, you're going to slide your hands forward and you can squeeze your buttocks also. And if you're quite bony in your pelvic region, feel free to place a cushion under you. Good. So let's take 5 rounds of breath here. Gazing at the tip of your nose. Good. As you exhale, drop all the way down. Take the hands underneath your forehead like a cushion. And then bend the knees and we'll wing the legs from side to side. Okay, let's drop the legs. Last back bend of today. Forehead on the mat, take the hands behind you, interlace your fingers. See if you can bring your palms together so you're lifting your shoulders up and away from the mat, squeezing your shoulder blades together and then punching back towards the heels. Bring your big toes and your inner thighs together. I like to start with my big toes touching. The legs will inevitably flare a little bit. So on your next in-breath, you're going to lift your legs, lift your chest, and take your gaze to your third eye. If you can even lift the arm. 5 rounds of breath here. And exhale to release. Drop the head back down. Take the hands underneath your shoulders and carefully, gently press up to downward to tabletop position. Good. From here, tuck the toes under. Walk the hands back towards your feet. We're opening the hips back into that squat position. But this time, we're going to send the buttocks backwards and the arms forwards. So reaching the tailbone back. Now, if this is difficult for you, you can feel free to come into a child's pose. Otherwise, press your buttocks back beyond the heels, reach the arms forward and drop the head down. Stay with your breath. Notice if you've wandered off. Good. Then wherever you are, walk the hands back towards you and you're going to drop your buttocks down onto the mat, bring feet forward. So after back bends, it's always a good idea to do some core work. So I'll give you a few variations. Soles of the feet are flat. The legs are hip distance apart. And you can hold on to the outer edges of your legs. Lift the chest and lean back. And just until you feel your abdominal muscles engage. So that's the first level. Then you can take your hands off your legs. And you might just stay here. Otherwise, bring the feet together, lift the knees and the feet. And then you can flex your ankle. So your legs are in a 90-degree angle. Bring the chest towards the thighs. If you want more, extend the legs. Keep reaching the chest towards the thighs. Let's do that for 5 more breaths. Good. And then take the hands down, float the legs down. And shake out a little. Okay, back to your staff pose. I'm going to bring it into a forward fold Paschimottanasana. So as you inhale, raise the arms. And then if it feels difficult to keep the backs of your legs on the mat, again, you can place bricks or stacks of books under your knees. On your next exhalation, you're just going to fold forward through the hips, reaching the arms towards the outer edges of the feet. Try not to round the back at this point. Keep the chest lifted. So again, if you've got a strap or a scarf, you can wrap it around tops of your feet Roll it around your wrists and lightly pull. Otherwise, just hold your feet and lift your spine. For those of you who are super flexible in the hamstrings and the spine, you can start to fold, bringing your belly towards the thighs. Now, when I said you can keep your knees bent, really, if you're finding this difficult, you can really bend the knees a lot and just take the hands down. We're still getting into the intestines. Good, last 3 breaths here. Okay, as you inhale, come all the way back up. Come down onto your back. And inversion time. So simple inversion is you're going to put your feet up against a wall. So you want to get your hips very close to the wall. So your hips actually touching the wall. And then slide one leg and then the other and lie down. Otherwise, with a block or a stack of books or a rolled up cushion, you can place that underneath your lower back and just float the legs up like so. For those of you who are seasoned yogis, feel free to come into shoulder stand, squeezing the elbows in, walking the hands up the spine, stretching the legs upwards, directing your ankles towards the hip line. Sometimes you'd be like this as you're starting, and then eventually straightening the body. And wherever you are, let's take 8 rounds of breath. We're really getting into the lymph system, lymphatic drainage. So if you're someone that suffers from gas and bloatedness and water retention, this is very good. It's also a pose of rejuvenation, as gravity is always pulling things down. You start to become a little saggy. And the same's happening internally with the organs. So just by turning ourselves upside down, we are turning back time, as it were. The longer you can stay in inversion, the better. Okay, to come out of your inversion, if you're in one of the lower level inversions with your lower back on the mat, bend the knees and hold on to the outside edges of your feet, and you're drawing your knees in towards your armpits, coming to happy baby. And if it feels good for you, feel free to rock from side to side. If you are coming out of shoulder stand, come into plow. Now that your feet might be off the mat, so keep holding on to your lower back. If your feet are on the mat or off the mat at this point, take your palms down, and we're going to carefully roll down vertebra by vertebra. Your hands are like brakes. Good, all coming down now at this point, bringing the knees in towards the chest. Good, and then we take the right hand across the left leg, extend the left arm out to the side, deep breath in, and close with another twist. So just let the weight of your legs and gravity take you into this twist. If it feels okay, you can turn your head to the left. Otherwise, keep the head upright. Good, noticing any contraction. Are you squeezing into the belly or the hips or the buttocks? Using each out breath just to help you decontract, to loosen and release any tension in the body. and in the mind. Last 3 breaths here. Good. And bring the knees back to center. Left arm across the right leg, right arm extends. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower body drops. So you can let the feet drop down first. The knees might not get to the mat, that's okay. So remember, if you're not feeling a twist in the belly, you can also bring the buttocks back to the middle of the mat, towards the middle. So just finding that sensation of wringing out through the belly. Last 3 breaths there. And then inhale, bring the knees back to center. Wrap the arms around the shins. Bring the forehead to the knees. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. And then exhale. Release the legs and the arms. If you need to now, just take any extra layers of clothing. I'm going to drop down into Shavasana, the corpse pose, and let the feet drop out wide. And at this point, for Shavasana, you can activate your audio recording of the Shavasana body scan and affirmations. Or you can simply rest here in silence for the next 5 minutes or so. Good. So once you're in Shavasana, let's just take a nice deep breath in through the nostrils. And exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. And once more. And one last time. So if you have chosen to play your Shavasana meditation, then you can end this session, video session. Otherwise, just allowing the whole weight of your body to drop. And the weight of the mind to follow. Allowing the body and mind to assimilate all the good work you've done today. Not just your yoga poses, but also the discipline that you've applied to your therapy plan. Most importantly, no matter what you're going through, is practicing some self-care, some loving kindness. And then gently bringing awareness back to the breath. Awareness of your body lying on the mat, heavy and relaxed. Awareness of the movement of breath and the stillness of body. Start to deepen the breath, allowing the senses to reawaken. Starting with a little wiggle of the fingers and toes, the ankles and wrists, knees and elbows, and the neck. And then on your next inhalation, sweep the arms overhead, take a full body stretch, the most juicy stretch, as if you're waking up for the first time. And then bringing the knees in, roll onto the right side, using your arm as a pillow. Gently pressing palm into the thigh to lift all the way back up. Make your way back to your comfortable forward-facing seat. Just taking a moment to check back in with yourself. Notice how you're feeling, what this practice has brought up for you. What you've managed to release. Just finding one word to describe your global feeling, mental, physical, emotional. Bring the palms together at the heart center. Just acknowledging this feeling today. Lowering forehead to fingertips. Placing palms on the ground. Lowering the forehead. Namaste. Thank you for your practice. Keep going. Have a